Hello everyone, Loaded Buggy here. It is Tuesday, and Tuesdays is one of my favorite days of the week because Tuesdays mean Buggy's Inbox. And Buggy's Inbox is one of my favorite series I have on my channel, period, because it's an opportunity for me to make videos in response to one particular question from one particular person and allow me to respond to that person in specific as opposed to my audience as a whole. And today is a rather difficult question, and it comes from Spider Co. Platforms. They say, "Hey Buggy, I got a question for you. Do you have any advice on how to handle grief? I ask because in 3 years, I honestly haven't felt like I've made any improvements on my processing of these emotions. I lost my fiance and son in February of 2021. My biggest issue is I'm not happy. I've been abstinent the last 3 years, and I personally don't want to be alone the rest of my life. But I also don't want to disrespect their memories by moving on. I think it's just a mental block in my own mind telling me that it would be disrespectful, but it doesn't change how much weight it had on my shoulders. Honestly, just looking for any advice, either from you as a man or anything from the Bible that relates to this. Thank you for reading, and I hope you might have some advice to give. God bless." And whenever I first read this comment, I will tell you that I was absolutely heartbroken on Spider's behalf because I cannot imagine the amount of weight that you are carrying, the amount of pain that you have just been weighing on your heart for 3 years now. And there is no words that I could possibly say that would be able to heal these wounds. I'm just hopeful that this commentary and my feedback, my response, will just bring you some value, maybe some word of encouragement. I am no beacon of wisdom. I'm just me, and I'm hopeful that the words that I am able to offer to you can kind of put you in the right direction of hope and restoration. So I'll say I am absurdly sorry to hear of your losses, both your fiance and your child. Like I said, I can't imagine the amount of pain that you are currently dealing with. But one thing that really stuck out to me is your concern of disrespecting their memories. I know that all of us deal with grief in one way or another, whether it be a spouse, whether it be a grandparent, our parents, our friends, a sibling, whatever it is. Grief is something that is just a natural part of life. It's something that we all encounter at some point in our life because death is inevitable, but sometimes it comes far sooner than we expect, and it's very, very difficult to process. So on the part of grief, I would absolutely recommend that you seek counsel. Finding someone who is qualified to advise you on how to process your emotions and process that grief, I think, is the key to beginning this journey. And I will refrain from offering too much advice on that respect because I am not qualified to do so, but use the resources that you have available to you to start that process. But now I want to shift my attention to something that definitely stuck out to me in your question, and it was your great concern about being potentially disrespectful to the memories of your loved ones. I think it's important to note that starting over in a new relationship is not replacing the memory or disrespecting the memory of your fiance and your child. Your heart is not like a hard drive. There is no limit to the amount of love that you can receive within your heart. You don't get a certain amount of space that you have to fill up or you get to fill up during your lifetime. It is infinite. And just because you are starting anew, you're starting a new chapter in your life, does not mean that you're disrespecting the memory of your child or your fiance. You're not replacing them. You're keeping them close to your heart, and you're allowing yourself to process new love and admiration for more people. You're creating more space for more loved ones, and you're channeling the love that you have for your fiance and your child and allowing that to be expressed to new people. I know there's light at the end of this tunnel because I have witnessed it firsthand. My grandmother and my grandfather have only been married for a little over 20-something years. After I was born, they met because their previous spouses had both passed away from health complications, cancer to be exact. And it is a very, very difficult thing to allow yourself to move on, but I know that it can be done because the love that they have for each other and the love that I see that they provide each other is so outrageously beautiful. They love each other so deeply, and they are so committed to each other. But they have not forgotten their spouses. They haven't. I've seen it. I've seen the pictures of them. They keep them close. They keep them close in their hearts and their minds, and they love them just as much now as they loved them back then. And that's because, like I said, your heart is not a hard drive. You don't have a limit to the amount of love that you can receive. And after you get past this massive bump in the road, this grief that you're dealing with, and you're at a place in your life where you are ready to open that new chapter and receive love from someone new, just know that it can be done. And it is by no means disrespectful, because in my mind, you're channeling the massive amount of love that you had for them, and you're gracing somebody new with that same love. There's room in your heart to be able to open a new chapter and to love again. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and I know that you will get there. Thank you all for watching this video. If you have questions of your own, you can leave those in the comments section below, or if you prefer to stay anonymous, you can send them to buggysinbox@gmail.com. That is also provided in the description below. Thanks, everyone. Bye now.